Mr. Prashant Pandey is here with us to discuss more on that. Prashant, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. We've seen good recovery on a sequential basis, but profits are under pressure. There was some one-off item as well, I think, which impacted the profitability. How was the quarter according to you, and can you explain that exceptional item?
Certainly, I think the quarter was very, very good because, as you mentioned, on a sequential basis, we have done very well. We grew by 80%. And while normally one should not look at sequential quarters, especially because this was the Diwali quarter, and therefore sequentially media companies are bound to do well. The reason we look at sequential quarters simply is that we are in the middle of a pandemic year, and therefore the recovery has to be seen every quarter one at a time. And therefore, the sequential numbers are very, very important. Now, what's very important to note, however, is that the quarter was also good because ad volumes were up 12% actually even compared to last year. Now, which actually indicates a very, very robust recovery. Now, remember, radio business depends a lot on retail businesses, shop fronts, and even when big companies like auto companies advertise, they're really advertising their retail kind of markets in the cities. Now, here's the point over here, that the retail volumes going up actually indicates that the businesses are coming back to advertising as the economy opens. And I think that's something that is why I'm very, very excited about the fact that the quarter was actually very good sequentially. Of course, on a year-on-year basis, we continue to remain minus 42%. So there's nothing to be happy about. But even over there's a great story because it's been reducing quarter after quarter. And even over there are lots of other good stories with respect to our solution business, our margins, our digital business. And I'm happy to talk about that, if you would be interested in that. Now, coming to the exception item that you mentioned, it's basically a reassessment of our royalty liabilities for the past years. But the reason why it's very important is because this is it derives from the order that the IPAB passed, and it replaces the previous royalty rates which existed for the last 10 years. And the impact for ENIL is that the royalty on an annualized basis is expected to come down by almost 11 crore rupees compared to the previous regime. So it's a very, very important order which came out. And I think that's having an impact on the PAT of the company this quarter.
Right. Right. Thanks for that explanation, actually, Prashant. I want to also understand from you, how's the visibility from here on? What kind of conversations are you having with your clients? Road ahead, clearly a rebound in the economy, has been sharper than what many expected. And a lot of new stuff is happening and people want to communicate it out there to their target audience. Give us some visibility which you gather in your conversation with clients.
Every segment of the media business is dependent on the economy recovering. However, the radio business is especially dependent on how the retail sector recovers, because almost 50% of our revenues, or that of print companies, comes from basically retail businesses. And I just want to mention a Google report over here, which basically states that even as on January, the footfalls in retail establishments are down almost 20% compared to last year. In cities like Delhi, they are down 30%, and Mumbai must be no better, must be actually quite worse compared to even Delhi. So the sectors which drive radio are still kind of affected by COVID. And therefore, if you see the months coming up, and we are seeing market after market opening up now, and the demand for radio is starting to pick up. So we do certainly believe that the worst is behind us, and we do believe that the road ahead is going to be a sharp recovery. We are expecting our fourth quarter to be a strong quarter. Traditionally for ENIL, the fourth quarter has always been the strongest quarter, and we are seeing early signs of that happening as well. So yes, going ahead, the recovery is going to be better. And here's another thing I want to mention at this point in time, that our strategy, which is of building our solutions and digital businesses, that has benefited enormously from the pandemic. And the reason is simple, because advertisers are now saying that, hey, I don't want to buy inventory. You have to give me a solution. And your solution better deliver for me, because I'm not in the business of buying ad inventory.
Right.
And we're seeing that even in this quarter, when things were so tough, our solutions business has actually seen a growth compared to last year, if I were to remove the on-ground component out.
Right. All right, Prashant, we'll let you go on that one. Thanks so much for your time.